Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be reviewing a very exciting eyeshadow palette. I just got this in the mail yesterday and it is none other than the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. I just wanted to give you guys like a more in-depth review and an overview, first impressions, whatnot. Everything. If you're interested to buy this palette, keep on watching. It comes in a pretty good size, I would say. Out of all of the Urban Decay Naked palettes, I own 1, 2, 3 Naked palettes. I feel that this one is the best size in the sense it is the most travel friendly because it is quite small, really thin and compact. It comes in a packaging that has a this is like a cloth material. It is not like your usual cotton, but rather it's a very luxurious cushion. You know, there's some feel to it. Like my hand is this. It is kind of like thin enough to throw inside my big purse like this. So look at how nicely it sits. Inside you will have how many shadows? Let me see. There are 12 different shadows, and this time I feel that this Naked Reloaded palette is a combination of all the Naked 1, 2 and 3, because when we think of Naked 1, we remember it to be kind of like smoky. Naked 2 was kind of like mostly like browns and copper and bronzy, and whereas for Naked 3 it was more kind of rose gold and slightly more pink. So this palette definitely would be one of my favorite Naked palettes because I know I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it. So over here you have not only your browns, but you also have your pinks. So these two, or rather these three shades, are very similar to the Naked 3 palette. There you have your browns as well, and I like it that this palette just is so thoughtful because even though there are 12 shades, 4 of them, these 4, if you guys can see, are actually made slightly bigger than the other. You will definitely be using a lot more of these shades. That's why they make it into bigger pans. Honestly, when I buy a palette, I only ever touch pan on those that few colors that I always use. For the rest of the colors, I don't think I can ever finish using them. So yeah, I think kudos to Urban Decay for just having that in mind and creating this Naked Reloaded palette. Let's try and wear it on the face and see how it goes. Alright, so now I'm done with my face and my brows. I'm just gonna go right into the eyeshadow. Actually pretty warm tone. So you have your browns. You do have a neutral brown over here, but you see that most of the colors that you have in here are pretty warm tone, like this copper, this brown, even the pink, the gold. They're all pretty suitable for warm tone skin. I mean, you will definitely be able to find a lot of neutral shades over here, which is why the Naked palette is called the Naked palette, because there are a lot of neutral shades. But I feel that this palette is kind of created with the more warm tone skin in mind. I don't mind that because I have warm tone skin, and I feel that most like Singaporeans or most Southeast Asian girls or guys even, we all kind of have a warmer skin tone because of our climate. So I think for us it shouldn't be that much of a problem. So today I don't know what I'm going for, but I usually like to go with an eyeshadow base. So today let's try out this shade called Bucked. So as we all know, the pigmentation is matte, so it's just a very tiny little bit and there's so much color payoff. Honestly, it's so easy to blend as well. You don't really see many like patches or harsh edges. That, you know, is an Urban Decay eyeshadow quality, and I have no complaints. So this shade would definitely be suitable for everybody. Bring it out a little bit. I just put a very tiny bit, you know, and it's so pigmented. I can imagine it to be a very good palette for photography as well. Photography makeup. Now let's try this shade called Reputation. So Reputation is kind of like a rose gold shade with a little bit of shimmer. Ooh, I just touched it really lightly. Okay, so this particular shade has quite a bit of fallout, so you gotta take note of that. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful though. Well, I think these two shades go very well, Bucked and Reputation. It's really pigmented as well. Very buttery, very creamy. It kind of has like a sheen to it. It's not like glitter, but it's a very, very nice sheen. Alright, then let's go in with Belly Baked, which is this gorgeous gold color right in the middle. Wow! The pigmentation is real, guys. I love it. Can you guys see? Just going to go in with a slightly deeper matte brown shade, which is called Endgame. I'm going to be very careful because of how pigmented everything is. This eyeshadow palette is going to be so amazing for those who like smoky eyes or for those who like a very, very glam look, because I feel that there's so many shades in there that are very suitable for this kind of look. This took me less than 5 minutes to create. It's actually really, really simple and very quick. Love the colors, I love the intensity, I love the pigmentation. Just really good. Let's move on to a color that is often quite difficult to create. It is this kind of matte white kind of shade. So let's test it out and see how well this one fares. Oh, okay. I do quite like this shade because a lot of the times when people create eyeshadows and they have these kind of white, chalk white shades, right? It kind of turns out either very frosty, very chalky and patchy, or just no color at all. So for this particular one called Bright, I actually do like it because I feel that I can see the color and there is a slight bit of shimmer, very, very, very tiny bit. I don't know if you guys can see, but my brow bones are now a little bit highlighted because of that. I do like it a lot. Okay, let's move on to eyeliner, lashes, and I'll be back. Alright, and it's now time for the big review of the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. I overall really, really like it, and I think it's a great, great palette to have, especially if you didn't own the first, second, or third naked palettes and you're looking for a naked palette that can kind of satisfy all three of the naked palettes all in one. I think this is a very, very good one for you. Also, on top of that, if you are a frequent traveler or if you are just someone that likes to play around with eyeshadow colors quite a bit but still want to have your neutrals with you, then this is a very, very good palette to have because all of the shades in there are very, very wearable. They suit a lot of people. You want to go for the Korean look, you have your pinks, you even have this coral shade over here, which I think is very, very suitable for those people who are really into those kind of very girly, not so heavy smoky eye kind of look. But also, if you are just going for a very neutral eye, you have your browns, your matte browns over here, or if you're going for a smoky eye like what I did today, you also have a lot of shades to choose from. So I really love this palette. Okay, now I'm gonna list the pros for you guys, and then after that I'll list the cons as well. Because I believe that as much as I love any product, to be fair, there will always be something that, you know, I can always pick some flaws out if I really, really have to. So for this, the pros, obviously, the quality is super good. I love the entire thought process of it, especially the 4 extra large shades. I think that is so meaningful and thoughtful. On top of that, I love the entire packaging. I think it's so luxurious, it's very chic, just different. I don't own any eyeshadow palette that has this kind of packaging and this feel to it, so I really like it. I love the size. It's thin, it's handy, it's compact. I love the number of shades and all of the shade range. It's really wide. The entire spectrum of shades is really, really wide. It's very versatile. I can use it all the time and I can foresee myself using it like day and night. On top of that, you also have a very, very big and long mirror, and I really love big and long mirrors, especially for eyeshadow palettes, because sometimes when I look at a mirror and it only shows me like one eye, I can't actually see and blend and make sure that both sides of the eyes are equal. So things like that, it really makes a difference when it comes to doing my makeup, and you know, that way I don't have to bring a much bigger mirror and I can use this mirror for other things like my foundation or my lipstick and stuff like that. So that is a plus point. On top of that, obviously the quality of the shadows is just superb. It's easily blendable. The only thing is there are 2 shades in there that I feel have a little bit more fallouts, but it's nothing too severe. And honestly, these shades don't actually flick that much or fall out that much when you kind of wet your brush and going wet instead of dry. So it's not really a big issue to me. But if you're looking to buy this palette, you can take note that Dreamweaver, which is this shade over here, as well as Reputation, tends to have a little bit more fallouts than the other shades. But all in all, they are still really easy to blend. Very good and creamy shadows, very pigmented, very opaque, and I think they are really good for photography, especially if you're gonna go overseas and you're gonna take photos a lot. All these will actually show up very well, so that's a plus. Of course, when it comes to cons, I really hate to pick out cons, honestly, because personally for me, it is a 9 out of 10 product. It's really good. If I really have to choose, I wish they included a little bit more colors that were suitable for cooler skin tones. Not really that it affects me that much because like I said, I'm very warm, but you know, if you guys, you're cool tone, that I would say it's a little bit hard to use every single color in here. Yeah. Also, the price point, we all know that Urban Decay is not something that everyone can afford. So of course, only if it's within your means or if you're looking to buy it as a gift, I think this is a very good gift to buy. But other than that, I would say the price point is slightly more expensive. If you ask me, is it worth it? I would say yes, it is super worth it. But you know, if you're not super into the high quality or into the whole compact and the whole thought process of, you know, this amazing palette, then I would say it might be a little bit pricey for you. What else do I want to say? Yeah, I think like these 2 are the only cons, honestly, because I feel that this is a wonderful palette. I'm not being sponsored to say this, in case you guys are wondering. I just love it. Let me know what you guys think. If I'm not wrong, it's coming out in Singapore Sephora on the 22nd of February, so you guys still have a few days. I don't know when this video is gonna go up, honestly, so yep, maybe by then it's already in stores, I don't know. But if you guys like this type of videos, or if you guys actually got your hands on this already, let me know what you think. Do you love it as much as I did? Let me know in the comments box down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!